It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Welcome to Dialogues with Dan, heard on Rockland World Radio every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out the archives of past programs located off the menu bar. And now, the host of our show, Dan Windheim.
He suffers from diabetes, and unfortunately one day he had a low blood sugar episode, which people that know people with diabetes, they typically become disoriented, much like people that have drank too much. And unfortunately he had a fall he has like a loft bedroom that he lived up on the cliffs of Port Angeles, Washington, where they had retired. So he literally fell 2 stories and landed on his head and his neck, and he literally could have died from that injury. So he was airlifted to Harborview Hospital in Seattle, and they operated on him, saved his life, but then the doctors told him he would never walk again because he was literally paralyzed from his chest down.
Oh my God. So maybe you could share how the injury, what other ways it affects him. Nothing cognitively.
Nothing cognitively, and again, even though he was paralyzed from his chest down, he still had use of his hands and his arms and everything like that, but from his chest down he was numb.
Yes.
So, but even when the doctors diagnosed him as never walking again, he never accepted that. I went out there right after the injury, and I can remember that, and he's just like, doctors tend to never really, because of the legal system, they tend not to give patients hope. Yes. Because they're afraid. They'll say, yeah, Joe, one day you can walk or something, and God forbid if he doesn't, then they think so they'll always be very conservative and say that. So
exactly.
Again, Joe's never accepted that diagnosis.
So going back to when you, Lisa, and Mark were kids,
yes,
was Joe always like strong-minded and always doing everything gung-ho?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a type A personality. He's a NIAC graduate. He was like president of like the whatever that
CYO.
GEO or something like that. A local musician.
Altar boy.
Yeah.
For
a lot
St. Anne's.
A lot of people know him in NIAC. He's like well known, and especially in the music world. And that's over the past 3 years. This will be our 3rd year doing a benefit. The musicians that have come to our support has just been phenomenal. So it's been a lot of work, but it's a labor of love,
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome. And have you noticed any progress? You saw him at the beginning, and now
it's
big difference. Huh?
Big difference.
Yeah.
When I visited, when you visit somebody who's had a catastrophic injury like that, Joe was pretty badly injured. And when you see him now, he has his own webpage. From the 4 years since he's been injured, he's been going to this, and we can talk a little bit about it, this Project Walk.
Yes.
And but since that time, he's actually pedaled on his own power on a stationary bicycle. He's actually stood up with, again, people helping him to balance. He's been swimming. And
Surfing.
he actually surfed. It was on Channel 2 News over the summer. He went to Stony Brook University for a 2-week program called Empowered. And I guess they have a good program on people that want to treat spinal cord injuries. And there was a thing on the news where they showed all these, patients surfing, and Joe was interviewed for Channel 2 News, so it was pretty exciting. So he's come a long way, and again, he's not accepting this, so it's just a matter of time before he's out of the chair.
No. So he could swallow.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's doing all right.
Yes, and thankfully, his wife, Pauline, is a retired nurse and his primary caregiver. So thanks to her, the family sleeps well at night because we know that he's in the
She's
best
his
hands.
angel.
She is
great.
just amazing.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong about Northwest Spinal Cord Injury Fund.
Right.
Yes, do you know? Well, could you talk about what the fund is?
Well, the fund, helps people like in the situation of my brother Joe. They collect monies to fund people with catastrophic spinal cord injuries. And Joe found out about them, and they're a 501c3 organization, so they're tax deductible. As you hear all the time about people that sees bad people with tragedy like 9/11 or Sandy, and people set up these phony charities to collect money. So you legitimize yourself when you link up with a 501c3 organization like Northwest SCI. So that was important.
Sure. So, Lisa, you live here.
Yeah.
Joe lives in Seattle. And do you fly out there and
In the
visit
beginning,
much?
when it first happened, I went out, and I haven't been out since. But we talk a lot. We do the benefits, and he's come up for the last benefit.
Oh, that's great. And maybe you could share about the party details. You'll have fundraiser party coming up.
Yes.
Yes. Could you speak about that?
Do you want to, or?
It's at Nyack Seaport this Sunday at 1 to 5. It's a silent auction and a live auction. We have all sorts of items that have been donated, artwork, jewelry, Giants tickets. Well, there's a variety of things. And we have Stephen Swan and ETA performing. There is a buffet dinner and an open bar.
Not open
Not
bar.
open bar, I'm sorry.
Beer and wine,
are included.
cash bar.
Cash bar.
But again, getting Stephen Swan and ETA to play, they're a very popular local band.
Exactly.
So I'm excited to, hear them. They're great.
Yes. And maybe, do you know it's going to be a buffet?
Yes.
Yes.
And there's a cost to attend.
Correct.
Yes, could you share?
Sure. The tickets are $100. 48 of that is tax deductible. And they're available at the door. We have an online registration. We've been advertising on Facebook since we first put this thing together. But to register online, you would go to http://bit.ly/dinner dance and auction, one word, and you could register for tickets online. Or again, you can come to on the day of the event and pay at the door.
And do
You could also call us too. Our
Yeah.
phone numbers are listed on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
You could call us and we could meet you
Oh,
for
excellent.
tickets.
And the
too.
Nyack Seaport, it's right on the river.
Yes.
Last year's event was there. It's such a beautiful setting. We had a great day with weather and everything like that, so looking forward to it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And maybe at this time we could speak about Project Walk. Could you tell us what it is and where it is and what they do there?
Sure. So again, my brother never accepting his paralysis, did a lot of research, and he found this Project Walk where most people, when they become disabled, they have what they call adaptive therapy, where they have you adjust to being confined to a wheelchair. Project Walk is different. Their goal is to get you out of that chair. So it's been great, and that's the other part of the reason that we need to do a benefit every year. It's not just the expense of Project Walk, which is like $125 an hour, which is not covered by insurance. Joe, as you mentioned, lives in Seattle, but he goes to the facility in Carlsbad, California.
Yes.
So he not only has to bear the cost of the program at Project Walk, which is phenomenal, but he also has to rent a condominium with his wife so he can be close by. So the expenses each year are, dramatic. So we need to do these types of fundraisers to,
Yes.
keep him going. And again, the progress is in, if you go to the website, he's made tremendous progress, and we want to continue with that as well.
Exactly. Maybe you could speak about past fundraisers.
Sure.
And are there other ways you're raising money?
Yeah. Well, initially, again, when this happened, no one, you don't expect it to happen to somebody in your own family. And we started thinking about what kind of events and this and that. And then we thought about my brother being a musician and how close-knit the musician world is.
Yes.
So in 2012, we organized a concert at Rockland Community College, and it was like a mini Woodstock where we had, 10, 15 bands, and they all did it out of the goodness of their hearts.
Wow.
It was a tremendous success. We made a videotape of it, not a videotape, and dating myself, a DVD
Yes.
of it, and great producers, professionals that just chipped in out of their own time and expense to do this for my brother Joe. So it's very humbling. So, and then last year we did our second one. It was a dinner dance, and we had this silent auction. It was very, well received, so we decided to do it again. And hopefully we don't have to do these much more because we want him out of the chair.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Are there other ways you're raising monies?
Well, you could talk about it, the Sons of Italy thing.
The Italian feast in the Blowout Sons of Italy. It's an Italian feast in Tappan. They donated a booth to us and let us do a fundraiser there. And one of the gentlemen there, Greg DeCola, gave us Yankee tickets for one of Jeter's last games. I believe it was Jeter's last homestand.
Yeah.
And he donated the tickets for us to auction off. And so we worked that whole
We raised several hundred
event,
just by giving us 2 tickets for like one of Jeter's last games. We raised over $600 or $700 for the drawing for those 2 tickets. So that was very nice. The Sons of Italy and Greg DeCola, we can't thank enough.
Oh, awesome. Yes, I see that Project Walk is also located in Boston, Claremont, Houston, Las Vegas, San Diego, San Francisco, and the Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's Minnesota.
Minneapolis and St. Paul, yeah.
Yes.
Again, Joe's hope was there was talk about, it's almost like the Olympics every 4 years when they talk about a city that's going to host it. So there was rumors that Project Walk was going to open a facility in Seattle. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but we're hoping that does, because again, that'll cut down dramatically on his expense if he can just stay at home and just use all the monies towards his therapy at Project Walk.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that Project Walk also work besides spinal cord injury. They also work with ALS survivors, MS, as well as traumatic brain injury.
Yes.
So they do a host of rehab for a variety of situations.
And again, a lot of it is not adaptive therapy, but it's therapy to try and improve the motor functions of those people suffering and getting them to become more independent.
Yes.
Strengthening their inner core.
Yeah.
Do you know, does Project Walk, do they have inpatient facilities, or is it just outpatient?
It's strictly like a gymnasium setting. Think of it as like a Planet Fitness or something like that. That's designed for people with spinal cord injuries, and and the people that work there are just phenomenal too. They're all well trained physical therapists, and the stuff they've done for my brother, I mean, I've seen people there. I've visited Joe a few times, and there's quadriplegics that walk into the facility now because of the work they've done. So, and they chart progress. I mean, it's just a great idea, great organization.
Yes, I'm wondering why do you think the society or the outside world is so comfortable with accepting mediocrity, or not even mediocrity, but as little as one can attain.
Yeah. Well, without being too political, a lot of it has to do with insurance companies. They'll only pay for those types of things, and until it's just their Project Walk is almost treated like experimental drugs, like it's not a proven entity. So it's very easy for the insurance companies to say hands off on it. So hopefully that changes, legislation comes through, and it will be covered by insurance. Because again, like you say, it could help a lot of people get out of the chairs.
Exactly. Did you all research, or did Joe research, any other programs that you can mention?
Well, the Chris Reeves Society, Pauline and Joseph have just, they've done exhaustive research on stem cell implants, any type of program that would help to help get him out of his paralysis. So they've done extensive research on all kinds of different programs.
Yes.
The program in Long Island, the Empowered one, they had all those. They put him in that machine to help him go down the
they actually
stairs
make
and stuff.
For like the wounded warriors from the war from Iraq and everything in Afghanistan. They actually have all-terrain wheelchairs, and my brother was on one, and he was like having the time of his life. These things go
upstairs.
They're like little tanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really?
So it doesn't limit the access of people that are confined to wheelchairs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, what do you think of what do you think of the state of society with the ability of people to go ramps and elevators and other devices? Society, do you think that the world has gotten better?
Most definitely.
I do. The American Disabilities Act has forced a lot of businesses to get wheelchair access. It's become, I've seen on the web like I saw like a staircase that was amazing, that this young lady was in front of the staircase. She pressed a button, got into this thing, and the staircase actually sunk into the ground and became a ramp, so they can get it. So there's a lot more attention being paid to people with disabilities, which is a good thing.
Oh,
because it's not. My brother will tell you he hasn't changed. My brother is still my brother.
Yes.
The only difference is he's in a chair, but Joe is still Joe. You know, and that goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So maybe you could share Joe's website. You said Joe has a website.
Right.
Do you know offhand?
It's called Walk with Joe.
Walkwithjoe.com.
Yeah, .com. And what's on?
It's his progress.
Yes.
Since, there's stuff from when this first happened going forward, and it'll show you his swimming, his standing, his bicycling, the surfing thing, which was amazing, which really scared me when I watched the video. I was like, oh my God,
You could YouTube that and find it, and I don't know how you could use it as a search, but Channel 2 News did a great piece on that Empower program where they all went surfing on the Long Island shore. So it was nice.
And he was able to do it?
Yes.
Well, they have people there. I
Yes.
mean, he's strapped on and they have
Yeah, I've
people
seen-
there.
Sure.
But just to be able to do something normal again
Oh.
and the look on his face, it's
That's
just,
yeah.
that's
That was the
worth it
best
all.
part. Everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's
His
comment
expressions, yeah.
was how he was beaming, and again,
Yeah.
it
Yes.
just makes him. Again, he's still my brother. He's still Joseph Preddy.
Yes.
Nothing's changed except he doesn't have the use of his legs for the moment.
Right.
For the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
I interviewed a man named Dana Cummings.
Hmm.
He paralyzed from neck down,
Yeah.
and he at one time ran a program in California
Hmm.
for surfing,
Right.
and that was like a huge thing.
Sure.
And
Yeah. There's a lot of
Very-
catastrophic surfing injuries for sure.
yes, and he had a lot of great success.
Yeah.
People loved it. And
Yep.
it was awesome. Yeah, so at this time, what keeps Joe going?
His spirit.
his amazing faith in God, his
Yeah.
wife,
Yes.
our godsend, his angel,
Right. It's just.
family.
I think about it sometimes. I mean, like I'm like an ex-jock, and I've had some surgeries, and I limp, and each time I think about that, and I think about Joe's situation, I'm not sure I would have the fortitude that my brother has, or the spirit to keep on keeping on. And he's just a inspiration to everybody.
So it's like he knows nothing else?
He knows nothing else.
Oh, that's
He's
great.
determined.
Yes.
And it's very easy to just give in, and that's what's so amazing
Yes.
about it. I mean, like I said, comparing myself, sometimes I'll be bummed out about my ankle bothering me or something like that. That's
Sure.
so insignificant when you think about the situation my
Yes.
brother's in, and he's just like, you know what? He's got his eye on the prize, and he's not
Yes.
taking his eye off it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as goals, well, that obviously is one huge goal.
Yes.
What, does he have other goals? Well, you had said he's retired,
Yes.
but did you say he has grandchildren?
He does.
Yes, so I guess one of the goals is to walk with his grandchildren.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes, and then attend their weddings.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Any other goals you could think of?
Well, again, just he's already attained some of these. He's attained these milestones. Like, if you go to the website, on Joe's website, he's standing. Now, again, he's got the help of people at Project Walk, but he was standing, and the best thing about that was Pauline, who's, again, can't speak enough of her and the care she's provided my brother. It was so exciting. There's a great picture of them hugging and kissing. It was the first time that she could hug him and stand, face to face, and it was really powerful. So that was really, really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as Joe's kids, you said they were in their 20s?
No, they're adults. I think they're all Joseph and Christopher, at least in their 30s, maybe Martina's late 20s or something like that.
Yeah.
They're all grown and live out that way.
Oh, and how have they dealt with this situation?
I think as fine as anyone else. You accept it. There's it's almost like, all the different things. There's denial and acceptance.
Anger.
But again, and anger and all that other good stuff. But again, Joe is still their father.
Right.
Nothing's really changed. He's still their father. He's still the same person, same mind, same spirit,
Yeah.
same soul. They love him as much as he did when he was standing. So there's
Yes.
no,
And
they want him to get out of the chair like the rest of the
And
family.
they believe he'll do it.
We all
also.
do.
Yes.
We all do.
I am after this sort of injury, divorce rates were very high.
Yes.
But in this situation, it's not even a thought.
Again, that
No.
speaks to Pauline and her dedication, because
Yes.
they were always what are
They're
they known
matched.
as, Jolene or something? You know how they do those combination of celebrities?
Yes.
Their love is just
They're match made in heaven.
They are. So before the injury, they were so much in love, and
Yeah.
now, again, nothing's really changed there. And It's beautiful. We should all have marriages like theirs.
Yes.
I always say when I grow up, I want to be just like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And as far as like 5 years from now, well, hopefully Joe will be walking.
Yes.
Yes.
will.
Or
see.
sooner, yes.
Or
Yeah.
sooner. Yes.
And again, so we don't have the need to. So one of the toughest things to do is ask people for money.
Yeah.
And we've done that for 3 years to the same generous people, family, friends, and it's been amazing. But I tell you, think about it. When people call you at home when you're having dinner and they're asking for donations,
Right.
it's the hardest thing in the world. But now you're put in that situation where this is for your brother.
Right.
So but again,
You never understand till it hits home.
till it hits home. But just asking people for money is very difficult. And again, over the last 3 years, the same people have donated
through.
time, money. It's just been amazing. It's a testament how well loved Joey is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I imagine you've raised a nice amount of money.
We have
Are you able to share how much?
tens of thousands of dollars.
And it's all been well used.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I mean, again, he's
If
his
you
ex-
go
sorry,
on,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you go on his site, you'll see from where he came from
Yes.
to now. It's just amazing. It's
what-
amazing.
whether it's $1 or we've
Yeah.
had donations of $12,500. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? But it's all to the same cause, and it's been amazing.
So community
Yes.
is huge.
Yeah.
Very huge. Well, Nyack is still like, you and I have known each other a long time, and
Exactly.
Nyack is like a common thread here. So it's amazing that Joe, who lives on the West Coast for like last 20 years of his life, can come back here and people still know who he is and are still willing to help with this benefit. Nyack is like the common thread here too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been able to, maybe has Joe been able to like reach out to help others?
Who is this now? I'm sorry.
Has
Joe?
Joe been able to help others either through?
Right. Well, yeah. I guess he shares. Again, when you go to these programs, like Lisa had mentioned earlier, the Empower program, and he meets people in the same situation, they've become like lifelong friends. And
Support groups.
Yeah, so they can all share the same stories, and they'll say how difficult something is, or like the wheelchair.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of support and again, when I picked him up the day he left Empower, it was really, I'm an emotional guy anyway, but there was a lot of tears because it's just, in those 2 weeks they became so close, and Joe's like, they're in constant communication, they're Facebook friends, it becomes a lifelong bond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember, excuse me.
Sure.
Well, are there things you'd like to add to this interview?
Just that we've mentioned the dinner dance, and then after the dinner dance, there's an after party at the River Club, where again local musicians have donated their time to have an event, and the tickets at the door at the River Club are $10. And the River Club has been very supportive. They did that for us last year, and it's a $10 admission to hear some great music. Mike Hecker and the River Club has been very supportive of our cause each year, so I thank them again for that. So it's a fun night. You go to the dinner dance, and those that buy tickets for the dinner dance are
Admitted
all they have to
free.
do is show their ticket at the door, and they don't have to pay the admission. So it's a fun night. We're all looking forward to it.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So around, you mentioned Nyack
Yes.
or Rockland
Yes.
being very tight.
Yes.
Are there other ways Rockland and Nyack is helping in this cause?
There's a lot of store owners that have let us put up posters
Right.
and have mentioned, the event and are helping out.
Donating
Donating
gifts for the auctions.
gift certificates or pieces and stuff
Excellent.
like that.
Yeah.
And very important, what was Joe like? I mean, what did Joe, excuse me,
Sure.
what sort of things did Joe do before he was hurt? like work-wise, his family,
Right.
he was married,
Yeah.
where did he grow up, where did he live after high school,
Right.
college.
Well, after they were married, they did like a cross-country tour, and they both fell in love with Albuquerque, New Mexico, so they settled there, lived there many years. They had their children there. Joe has worked for UPS since we can remember, and he actually retired from there as like a senior executive, did very well there, retired young. And unfortunately, this injury has kind of wiped out his nest egg, if you will, because it's very, I mean, if you look at, I don't remember the figures off the top of my head, but it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars to,
Yes.
an expense to get care. He had to retrofit his house after he was injured.
Sure.
But very active guy, played sports, we're part of a big family. Every time we'd go out, he was an avid golfer. We'd play basketball, tennis. He's a lover of life, so he goes at everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, so in our last few minutes, maybe we could, do you happen to know the website for the Project Walk offhand?
I don't have
Or-
my glasses on.
I would assume it would be projectwalk.com or .org. I apologize. I should have that information readily available because they're such a crucial part of my brother's
Yes.
rehab.
And as far as the other one, the,
Northwest.
yes,
Again, you can Google this type of information,
yes.
and it'll direct you right to the websites
Is
of Project Walk.
Northwest an actual place?
Yeah, it has to be.
It is.
It's
Yes.
the 501c3 that we have to. It legitimizes a charity again that we are, and they take. They help us advertise. They actually gave us did the artwork for the flyers and the
Yes.
posters. They provide those types of services, and they just take a small percentage out of the proceeds or whatever. But it's well worth it for the
Yeah, I
assistance.
said that because, you mentioned the Northwest Fund,
Mhm.
but there's a physical place.
Absolutely.
And where is that?
They're in Pennsylvania somewhere. I think it's. I can't remember specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, that's just the thing for the 501c3. But it's a physical place. Again, you can look them up. We have to provide it, the 501c3 certificate. Like again, for our expenses, like we're renting the Nyack Seaport, we have to show that we're a tax, charitable organization, so we avoid
Yes.
taxes. It's they're a great help to our cause.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, my producer should be here any minute.
Okay.
And, well, I'd like to end the show by asking you to repeat once more the specific info, the website, the Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
that would be very helpful.
Sure. Can you?
I can't say, but sorry.
We're all losing our vision.
Yes.
Yeah. And these aren't strong enough for me, but okay. You can, for the tickets, you can register online. Can't see this, Mark.
All right, then I'll do it.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Again, for the dinner dance on Sunday, October 19th, you could register online at http://bit.ly/dinner dance and auction, one word. And it'll direct you right to the site where you can buy the tickets online. And again, you could buy tickets at the door of the day of the event. The after party at the River Club is from 7 on. And again, those who attend the dinner dance will not have to pay the cover to get in for the after party.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa and Mark,
Yeah.
thanks for joining me.
Thank you. It's great to
Thank
see you
you.
again,
Thanks
Dan.
for having us.
Nice to see you again,
And
and
I
thanks for your
wish
time.
you best wishes
Thank
on
you.
this. And best wishes to Joe.
Thank you.
Did you say Joe is going to be there?
Yes,
Joe will be at the
will
event.
be here.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us on Dialogues with Dan. Have a great week. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.